probably going to delete the audio from this because my family is awake. So I'm just going to talk like I normally would for myself. It's a tool for reflection. I took a nap, so I have not wrote my list or started on my paper. It's 9:17 p.m. Yay, the life of sad student. Just writing down tags. Gonna try to pay attention to the timestamp so that I know like where I have to cut video from, because I'm also, I was thinking about playing music, but I don't want things, you know, not to play songs you can't play. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have an earplug in my left ear and an AirPod in my right so that I can get some stimulation. My son's up trying to do some work before grading deadlines up for his, I think, a progress report, you know, for the trimester. So yay, it's fun times. I told him to take a nap. He doesn't want to. I told him to wake him up at 2:30 or so. Oh shoot, I need to go get my mouse. He has my keyboard and my mouse. Dagnammit. Be right back. I feel like he conned me and said he needed my keyboard, but because he was trying to do work on his iPad, left his laptop at his dad's work. Oh, Lord have mercy. Now I have to see if I can get everything to connect back to my computer. Looks like, I think the keyboard's connected. How does it switch from connection to one device to another? It's just craziness. Sorry. I'm not so out of breath. Well, I am a tiny bit out of breath. I have asthma, so I take inhalers. I've been hearing like wheezing, but I think it's just the cat snoring and it happens to coincide with my breathing. Oh my gosh, it was driving me crazy a couple days ago. Oh, Lord baby Jesus. What to do, how to make, I can't make my brain start working. Okay, I'm just opening Google. All right, computer attached and mouse is attached. And it is what time? 0440. I just want to make sure that I check that like you can't hear what we're talking about for the living room because of my son's privacy. So, all right, Lord, baby Jesus. Husband made me another latte, and he's like so happy, like, oh, you're doing so great. I'm like, yeah, but it's not sustainable. I've done more in 3 days than I have in probably 3 months, so I don't know. I know another video Dr. K did, I think it was with Misfit, if I'm not mistaken, or Rectful, but when you learn to harness your ADHD, he was saying it was energies, like you can be wind energy, fire energy, and I think water. I think he called ADHD wind, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and look. But the bottom line I got from that was that if you can harness your ADHD, you can do really good things. I stopped myself. I used to believe that, you know, ADHD is a superpower, but I really don't. Now I'm noticing more of the debilitating factors, and you could become stronger learning how to work with your brain, but I still wouldn't say it's a superpower. I know it's part of what makes me me, but if I could not have it, I think I would. But hope that makes sense. Anyhow, ADHD pep talk. That's why I love ADHD, the population for behavioral health. I would love to go into that as a psych NP. So we shall see if my life ends up going in that direction. Too much coffee, I'm getting like little gastric problems. Yippee. I don't know where to put my fox. I don't think I need the computer right now because this is all probably. I'm so tired, I can't make words. All right. So I think what I will do is turn on some music at least. I've already done my exercises for today, my PT exercises twice. So I might end up doing them 3 times a day because it really does help. It helps me to be able to sit at the desk for longer without pain when I do it. But I was discharged from PT because she said that the exercises are helping my hip enough and there's not more exercise that they would, you know, assign. So we shall see what happens. My mouth feels so dry. I'm not gonna write this list or plan this out in the computer, on the computer, I suppose. But all right. My son, I don't know why, looks surprised that I like Kanye West. And he looked at me like, how do you know who they are, you dinosaur? I just learned about ChatGPT last semester, and now there's stuff in the syllabi about it. It's an interesting problem that nurse education is having now. I come from the era where you have to go to the library and like literally pull cards to point you in the right direction, so I typically don't have problems with those programs, such as what do you call it? Oh my god, what is it, Vera? It's oh well, the school uses a program to check whether or not you're stealing work. So I don't typically have issues with that. I tend to oversight instead of undersight. So I feel like those articles that I hate to read where every word is cited, but if it didn't come from your own brain or isn't common knowledge, then you have to cite it. All right, I'm gonna see if this is an article I want to use. Maybe useful for recommendations. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've tried to read this a few times. Who is it by? It's from 2015, so it's kind of old. I don't think I'll use it, but if I need to come back to it, I will eventually. Generational age differences in nursing students, preference for teaching methods. Oh, this is even older. That's probably why I haven't included it yet. I might use it because I'm comparing. I wouldn't say comparing, I guess. I'm trying to find out. I don't even have my problem statement at my fingertips, so I gotta find it. I don't know if I rewrote it. I did rewrite it for a discussion post, so I have to find that. But basically, I'm looking at Generation Z and their engagement in the classroom. So whatchamacallit? This might be good because the classrooms that I'm looking at, or the one that I'm teaching in or observing, they have just from my observation, they appear to have students from okay, if you're born in 1964, how old would you be? 60, 70, 80, 90, 04. You'd be 50. I don't know if they have any boomers, but I would bet money that they have Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z. So I might use this one even though it's old because it might give me information on Gen X, because they are represented in the classroom I'm seeing. And that's a undergrad program. It used to be called 2+2. It's basically transfer students. It is transfer students, so they do 2 years somewhere else and they transfer to do their 2 years in their BSN. So they have a, I'm guessing that they have a greater age range in the students than the traditional undergrad class. It's just a guess, but I've never stepped foot in a traditional undergrad class, so I don't know. For nursing, that is. I stepped foot in undergrad classes when I was one. And back then, I remember very few people that you look at thinking, oh, they're old. And you knew they were old because they were so organized, and they usually back then were the ones with all the color pens and pencils and things. They were like, I'm not here to play around. I'm gonna learn. And I was like 18. I wasn't the kind that thought I knew everything, but I don't know. So this one, okay, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna attack this. And it's terrible. I think I need a Post-it, and I never find things because everybody comes and touches my stuff. I learned to not lose my keys, not lose my items by just making sure I put things in the same place. But right now with family and a young kid, oh good, I think I have a Post-it, but the problem is it's the one I've been using for everything else. It's not going to stand out. Pardon me. I'm going to make a note for myself to add to table of evidence, the TOE. So many silly acronyms, but I like that one because it's TOE. Think about big old ugly big toe. All right, these are translucent Post-its. So I like them because you can still see what's behind it. They still leave some residue, so then when I take them off something, I have to rub my finger to get the adhesive off. But I love them. I have all kinds of colors, and I have clear, like white, or translucent, I guess. All right, so that one looks okay. I'll add that. And then there's one last one, but unfortunately, I found more articles, so we'll get those real quick too. I said this one was boring. Maybe okay for possible research / recommendations. Educating the Nurse of Tomorrow, exploring first-year students' reflections as 1 week senior peer mentored, supervised inspiration practice in nursing homes. Oh Lord, I can't even get through the title. I'll just read the results and the conclusion. I'm confused. The analysis resulted in one main category: being inspired, keep learning, and moving forward, representing first-year nursing students' common perceptions of being mentored by third-year students. The main category is supported by 2 categories: closeness to the mentor, confidence in mentor's professional knowledge, and teaching supervision methods, which are interpreted as the drivers that enable first-year students to learn more about nurses' role and responsibilities in the nursing home. Conclusion: mentorship enhances the learning transfer from third-year students over to first-year students by providing them with a real-world exposure and guidance from their more experienced peers. I need to get through this article because it sounds like it would be useful. It is from 2024, so it's current. So unfortunately, I have that one too. So I love that it's clear because you could put it against something and then write in a line, perfect line, because I always write trending like down or up. It's annoying. So another one to add to TOE. Oh, I wrote it on the wrong part. Shoot a biscuit. I'm not gonna get anyone. I'm too lazy. I'm in my dark nurse Allison era. I was watching Nurse Liz earlier, and it was an old video, but she said that she was exiting her dark era. I emailed her and commented her to tell her thank you because I appreciated her so much. And we'll probably never meet, but she's helped me along my journey so much. All right. So there's 2, I'll add 2 out of 3. And what's nice about binding it is I can add things. I'm gonna probably rebind it tomorrow. I'm gonna put stuff that I've accrued like this small stack of papers. And I'll ask ChatGPT a question, and then I'll use it to either make my own outline or look for a word. I did that yesterday. I couldn't remember facilitate, and that helped me. So I'll put the chat GTP. I know this is oldest. I'll try to put them in some order. I'm gonna check out these things. See if I want to use them. That's my syllabus. I'm not gonna. I usually bind the syllabus together by itself. I haven't done it in a little while because I don't have that kind of energy. So I think the first page I'll put is the rubric. And then I'll put this table that I'm probably gonna, or this diagram, because I need to add nursing theory. So before that, let's see, okay, so there's another chat GTP. I'll put the most current on top, and blooms. Prisma probably came before this. Just remember stuff that I've gathered along the way that I know I'm gonna need. And let's see this article. 21 minutes and I haven't wrote a list. Jeez. I have a history of kidney stones, so I'm trying to be better about water. So diversity, equity, inclusion. I think I might add this. I don't know if this is how other people think of it, but I tend to use articles that are no more than 5 years old. This time I'm going a little longer because of the generational thing. I'm getting stuff that was published a while ago. But I found this one for a discussion post I had to do, and I think I might be able to fit it in. I don't know if I have to do faith integration, but typically with my school you do. I found this, I don't remember. I think somebody might have cited this work in a discussion post and it looked interesting because we have similar topics, and I think you have to talk with, I'll put this with here, it's AACN, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Developing a social determinants of learning. I don't think I need this because I ended up using this article to do that post, but I'm not sure if I might need this article in the paper. So I think I'll bind this, rebind it tomorrow. And it's pretty cool because all of it entails is cutting that off and putting a new one. So it's, minutes of work to get something that's very useful. I think what I'll do right now is make a list based on rubric. Rubric is your friend. So I'm just gonna write out a to-do list or try to bullet point what I need to do. So the intro. So we need your problem. So it says we need to put the role of the MSN prepared nurse educator as related to the problem is clearly described. So basically you have to put your problem statement, describe including the population. All right, I have to make sure that I have that. Okay. And then that they have different rubrics for different specialties because this class has students that are taking the nurse practitioner and it has people that are doing education, and I think they might even offer public health now or health administration, something like that. I don't know if I'm gonna do it because it's redundant, but it looks like your problem is part of the intro, but I'm gonna make sure I put a note to myself. Population and setting. This is a problem statement, so we have to put the importance, show that it's directly relevant. To the problem. Oh, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just. All right. Seeks to facilitate finding an answer. Next section, background. I need to provide your context. I like this, but sometimes my eyes get tricked. So I gotta make sure that the context, the background significance that you're providing, the context, significance of the problem, and your operational definitions. When I've been reading my articles lately, I've been putting, pros in red, pros in green, cons in red, and here I'm using a color just to draw my eyes to the operational definitions. I don't think I've written them out. I've started a list of them, so I need to just what's the word? I need to solidify them for sure. So, and then review of literature. And this, okay, the prisma and the toe. The prisma's gonna be the death of me because I did not keep track as well as I should, and it's stressing me out. And then I'm just gonna put a note to see rubric, because it has some things that I need to remember. It says databases, keywords, eligibility criteria, and Boolean are clearly described. Identification, screening, and included steps clearly described. Flow diagram completed as an appendix. So his primary articles include current research, less than 5 years old. I know I have some that aren't, but I'll either talk to the professor, or I think I have a good mixture. I hope most, I'd have to calculate, but I hope most are less than 5 years because that's what I tend to look for. But like I said, my topic is including Generation X, and they can be pretty old. I'm Gen X, but I'm at the tail end. So the research needs to go a little farther back. But anywho, I'm not worried about that. I don't think it's a problem. It says clearly appendix with shading attached. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. I've been working very hard on that. It's very time consuming for someone with ADHD. It's, oh man, it's like wading through a pool of molasses. But I've persevered and I've got most of my articles on there, so. Oh, it says template is completed with all included articles organized into categories of knowledge, intervention, finding, discussion themes. Okay. So I'll put C notes because I was gonna just alphabetize it, but it looks like I might need to do something different. So put a note to C rubric related to sorting it. Did I put that as an appendix? I did not. My handwriting is gonna get uglier and uglier. I'm trying to drink water until my mouth is not dry. good. Getting towards the end. Oh my god. Serious? No, I lied. What a damn lie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, I'm counting in the beginning. Okay, let's just look at total pages. 2, 4, 6, 8. The rubric is 10 pages. They're landscape, so they're not all full, but it's a lot of pages. Oh, I'm confused. Okay, so it's all review of literature, but then they have it in different. Okay, so we've got the Prisma, we've got the toe. Oops, wrong color. I hate when I do that. I don't think I'll have trouble with this. One thing I need to look at this key findings. So review literature key findings are connected to POI. I don't know what I missed. What does that mean? Maybe I'll find out. I'm guessing it's problem statement. Lord baby Jesus. I hate when I hit with the things I don't know at this point. I feel like, how am I going to be a teacher? It's ridiculous. So, clear summary. All right. Yeah, I'll just try to make sure I have that open to double check at the end. Perspective through the problem. Yeah, you do have to include diversity, equity, and inclusion, so I'll probably use the articles I found. Okay. I'm not going to go front to back because I tend to leave the back clear so that I can, so that if I need to write something somewhere, I have room. I need another piece of paper though. And my stuff is precariously perched on top of my printer. Oh Lord, goodness. Okay. Put my syllabus back because it's loose and it's threatening to fall. It's threatening to throw itself off of the whatchamacallit. Alright, so let's see. Alright, page 2. Alright, I think I already have the theory that I'm going to use. Role of the MSN educator as related to the problem of interest is clearly articulated. Couldn't say articulated, that's funny. Competencies need to address the health problem are clearly articulated. So I'll just put so role competencies. I'm sure there'll be future students that say that I am not competent. I am waiting with bated breath for my first, whatchamacallit, yeah, I'm waiting with bated breath for my first rate my professor review. Oh, it can be so harsh. But I'll try to keep it up in mind, and you glean through what you really can change and what you just can't control. I can't control the sound of my voice, so I think it's annoying, but whatever. Or I guess I was made fun of it a long time ago. I heard somebody, I left a voicemail at somebody's back in the day when they have like the traditional recorder, and then they were like, oh, your voice sounds so high, you sound like a baby. I'm like, that's just my voice, I don't know. And then I remember going to the grocery store when I was sick, probably had walking pneumonia, and the checker was a guy, and he's like, oh, I love your raspy voice, and I'm like, I'm sick. So all those little incidences together make me not like my voice. But it is what it is. What am I gonna do? I was thinking about going like voice coach. Since I play the flute, my ear is attuned to music, and when two singers, for example, are not meshing together, I think they use the word pitchy. I don't sing, so I don't know what it is for them, but when I used to play in an orchestra, you could just tell when the notes aren't in harmony. So it's annoying that my ear is critical in that way, but I was thinking I should do voice lessons so that I can get more comfortable with my voice. I love to sing. One of my joys in life. Since I've been taking my kid to school, we drive on these crazy dirt roads with the top down. It was like 40 degrees this morning. It was so fun. And then once I drop him off, I blast music because he doesn't like the music blasting. Okay, so proposed intervention. This is the part that is going to trip me up a little, I think. Instrument. Okay, so for your proposed interventions, which I feel like it's due this week or it was due last week. You have to include proposed intervention solutions or guidelines to the problem is clear, appropriate, and supported by evidence. Elements needed for effective intervention solutions are identified and clearly described. Instrument, guidelines, or protocol for this problem solving is appropriate. Target population setting is clearly articulated. So I just wrote down proposed intervention and made a note to remember instrument, guideline, or protocol for solving problem is appropriate. I think I can use that article I was mentioning the last one I was looking at with the students who have the mentorship program, first year with the third year. I think that would be an appropriate type of intervention. So outcomes, but with these, for us, especially for the MSN level, you're not gonna actually do the research at this time. You're just thinking about it. So outcome timelines and eval. Outcomes discussed with overall health focus of clinical project clearly articulated, measurable and aligned with conceptual model. Timeline, intervention timeline clearly stated, or clearly described in detail both short and long-term outcomes. So let me see short-term. Collaborative, interdisciplinary, and/or community partnerships are articulated. So we'll have to put collab. That's not how I normally. I was trying to abbreviate and I did it wrong. And oh, it's because my C and my L look like a D. That's why. That's included. INCLD hyphen D. Huh, whatever. It's just for myself, so it doesn't matter. And for any poor soul who ever sees this. Alright, so that's it. I think the last one is regarding format and like APA, which I don't tend to have problems with, so I'll look at it later and just kind of do what I've been doing. I've gotten through this far. So that's my to-do list. It's kind of long. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So really the only thing that I've completed, the thing I've completed the most is the table of evidence. So that gives you your background, your review of literature, which is probably the largest section of your paper. And I have the resources for other things, but I just haven't solidified my thoughts. But that's how I work. I've grown comfortable with it. It's gotten me by for the most part, except for the 2 classes I failed during the pandemic. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing because it works for me. All right, done with that, and I'm gonna take a break.